We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport. Welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are coming to you from the Jump for Joy studio. We have a great show today. Dennis Mitchell is going to be our guest. We're super excited to hear about not only his career, but all the people that he's helped along the way. So we're going to check in with our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Want to advertise on the Jon and Rick Show? Contact Jon at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're in the Jump for Joy studio, Jon. This has been an exciting week, but not really, because we have a hurricane coming.
Yeah, it feels like we just got through Helene. We kind of dodged that one here. Unfortunately, Other people didn't. And now it looks like Milton is on the way.
On the way, and it's going to be bad. Before we talk any more about the hurricane, there's a big event happening in the United States, only 2 in the U.S.
Yep.
And this is Maryland 5.
Yes, we're super excited for the event. You guys are going to head up, yeah?
We're heading up. We leave Sunday it's also the 3 long national championships for the 3 star horses and the 3 long. We are heading up with Elisa that has 2 horses, but the field for the 5-star is small this year, but there's reasons for that because we obviously had an Olympic year.
Yeah, so autumn 5-stars I find are always a bit small over here.
Right. This one's 20, I think there's 24.
Yeah.
But there's some really significant riders there. I think we almost match what's coming from overseas that's here.
Yes.
So do you want to go through the list?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just going to say it right now.
Okay, you go.
I'm going to pick my winner.
Yep.
It's going to be Tammy.
I think we got to go with
really
My Bomb.
Jumping out on a limb there.
I'm going to go with you.
Yeah, no, she should get that for sure.
I wonder, it's the big swan song, I think they're calling it, for My Bomb.
Is it? Well, then it's guaranteed.
Yeah, so she's going to win it. And, I think they made, and now we're just going to talk about Tammy for a second and My Bomb.
Yeah.
I have read and talked to her before on things, but I think the horses chosen, they were what we chose to go to the Olympics.
Yes.
I think they had some back and forth issues with the horse that they were trying to work out. He got the green light to actually go ahead and go.
Okay.
But from what I did read, and this was something quoted from Tammy, she didn't feel like it was fair for the horse to go to Stableview, do the mandatory outing, and then head over to be in the Olympics when he was only back in work for a short period of time.
Yeah, well, and kudos to her. And
yeah, so
that'd be a hard choice to make.
It's hard, right? And she did make it, and then this is going to be he's 18 years old, I believe. He's 18 now.
Right.
And so I'm excited to see her there and watch him go, and I know they've been working really hard to make him his best that he can be.
Right.
So let's go through some other lists.
Yeah, okay, so I looked at it, but I don't have it.
And you went right with My Bomb, which is
I
good.
Picked it out, I was like, that's
good.
the one.
That's good. We got Twilight's Last Gleam.
Yep.
With Jenny Brannigan.
Yep, and she could have a shot for sure.
We have Tiana Cadre, who's U.S., and she's based in England, but she's over here for the 5-star, traveled over on Concaras Girl.
Yeah, and that's a nice horse.
Is it a cool horse? I don't know that one really well.
It's a beautiful horse, and if she's come all this way, I assume she's come this way because she thinks she has a shot.
And that's good. I don't know when the last time she was on U.S. soil with her horses.
It's been a while.
Then we have a favorite for us and a friend, Buck Davidson.
Yeah, and that's on Suricatma.
That's correct. And I believe is that a thoroughbred?
I don't think so.
One of them that he has is, you might be
Stat
right.
Boy will look that up for us while we're
Yeah.
talking.
Then we have David Doyle.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's on Galileo Neomod.
Yeah, and again, I think any of those guys, and I've watched David ride, he's a beautiful rider. If they're making the trip over here, they don't spend that money just to get experience. They're coming over here because they think they have a real chance to win. So that's the thing about the Europeans when they come over for the 5 stars. It's not for experience.
Right.
It's for money.
It's to win.
Yeah.
It's to win. I agree with you. Another one that was just on our show, and she's actually based with the prices, and she's coming over, Cosby Green.
Yep.
And she talked to us on the show about Highly Suspicious, a really cool horse of hers that she really loves. It's coming up.
And it just won Mill Street earlier this year. That should be uber competitive.
It's going to be great. So she's coming over, and probably because Tim Price is coming, they're traveling together. We'll get to her.
You can just tell us, is it thoroughbred?
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so Sorokama is
Thank
thoroughbred.
you. So I was right.
Yes, you were right, as always.
Great. So we got, and we have Diane Grodd in the audience,
I know,
by the way.
I'm so excited.
And she is a thoroughbred girl, so she's
Boom.
going to be happy that she had the Godfather as a Grand Prix show jumper. Corvette, a favorite.
Yes.
I love that horse.
Oh,
I
that's
call
going to
him
be so much fun to watch go cross country.
the White Tigger.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Emily Hamill rides that one. Emma Klugman.
Yep.
She has been coming up on Bonte Beach Z. She's kind of cool to watch ride.
Yeah, she's brave. She's accurate. Those
And she's
horses
smart.
jump great. She's so smart. She's a lawyer. and
lawyer,
just
it's like-
yeah, I think, yeah.
Crazy. Emma represents Australia, but
Right.
she's based in the U.S.
She's an American.
I know, but
Yeah.
there you go. Mooreswood, we all know Allie Knowles.
Yep.
Coming out on Mooreswood. She's had some ups and downs, but that horse is really cool too. I think if they're on their game and Allie has everything going right for her, just like anybody else, but just can be in the top there. Commando 3, I love that name.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
Yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah. Boyd Martin.
Yeah. Oh,
Well-
yeah. Sorry. Horses.
Boyd Martin on. Boyd has 3
Okay, so he's got Commando.
on cue
Yep.
and Testerleg.
Tester leg. And On Q won this event, right?
The inaugural event.
Yeah. And I think was incredible to get it done and a little bit fortunate with some of the bumps in the show jumping.
Right.
I would think of the 3 horses, that would be the one that'd be the toughest to win on because of the show jumping.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to put my money, so it was Commando, On Q, and Tester leg.
Mm-hmm. And Testerleg, it's got to be coming to the end of his career as
You
well.
would think, and I would say it should be Commando of the 3 of those horses that would finish the best for Boyd, but he knows Tester leg so well.
I know.
That one just always keeps showing
I mean,
up.
Thomas, he's got 3 shots.
Yeah.
Then we go away cruising with Harry Mead.
Yep. Good old Harry.
Harry coming over. He's coming over with 2.
And he's been here, I think this is his second or third
His
trip
second
now.
time. And Harry's such a nice guy as well. The second horse that he has is Eat Hop Do Mots.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't. I don't even know I
You
said
can't say
it
it
right.
one time slow.
Do you think I said it right?
No, I guarantee you, you said it, it was not said right. El Hop de Mats.
It's Et.
Oh, it is. Damn, I need glasses. Hold on, let me look.
Here.
Yep, it is. Et Hop. Oh, let's see. Okay, hold on. Those are
happened on
Those
the-
are so dirty, but
It happened
they
on the
great.
show. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They were great. Okay.
See, you need
I
reading
do
glasses.
need glasses, 100%.
All right. So then another good friend of ours, Joe Meyer, and the horse that I absolutely adore.
Harbin.
Yes.
And I watched him go this weekend at Ocala.
Was he good?
looked
I didn't get to.
awesome.
I didn't get to watch him go.
He looked awesome. I will tell you guys, if you want to watch just like a great cross-country combination,
Yeah.
go out and watch Joe at Maryland. Harbin is so
Just a cool horse.
So cool.
He's done a good job with that one, and I think he got that one back. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think Harbin was sold, and maybe something happened, but he got the horse back.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's maybe.
No,
I'm
it's
not-
fact. You said it. It's
No,
fact.
it's,
Go on.
now it's there. Okay, so then we go on to Jess Phoenix.
on Webbit.
She's got 2 horses. She's got Wabbit and that paint horse, the fluorescent adolescent.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool horse.
It is cool.
Then we get to the Tim Price with Falco.
Right? Again, he came all this way. He thinks he's going to win.
Yep.
And it'd be hard to argue against Tim Price.
But then he's got to go against Tammy.
Yeah, no, I'm still voting for Tammy.
Tammy Smith on my bomb. I'm telling you guys, that is just a class act, like they all are. And a very good friend of ours, mine and Briggs, and the twins, Ben and Neil, live here in the States. Their mother's Ann Hardaway.
Yeah.
Taylor and Ben and Neil Taylor, their sister, Grace Taylor, lives in England at their father's place.
I know Ben well. He worked for me for a while, and he's a great guy. And
then we need to have the twins on the show.
I know both of them, Ben and Neil. And
they keep on asking when they're going to be on the show.
Do they?
Yeah. I said, we'll have you on the show. They're twins, so we have them sit right in the middle.
I'd be so confused.
No, they're not. They can tell them apart.
I know I can. I know them well. I'm just trying to make for an entertaining show, which is
you can't really tell them apart.
No.
But you can.
Game change them and then Chris and Rob Decino at the same time. Be great.
Oh, that would be fun.
Be so
we should
confusing.
do that.
No, go ahead.
Game Changers. Who Grace Taylor.
Yeah.
Grace Taylor, Game Changer, coming over from Great Britain, lives over there on their her father's farm, which is.
Oh my gosh.
I know the name of the place.
Why did you do that
it's
to
very
me?
famous.
Aston the Walls.
Aston the Walls. No, Midland is Anne Hardaway's family's.
Yeah, Aston the Walls, beautiful place over there.
So we have another Canadian, Lindsay
Tresna.
Tresna.
Yeah.
Tresna.
I think
Tresna.
Just say it French.
Tresna.
Yeah, there you go.
With her
Rouge.
cool husband. On
Bassy Rouge. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's always in the hunt.
I know.
We're coming down to the end. Bubby Upton.
Yep.
On Cola.
Awesome.
She's coming to win.
Yeah, and again, I think that's the thing. All those guys, they come over, they're here to be competitive and go home with some prize money.
The last one we have, Lillian Hurd, on another one that's up there in age, LLC Barnaby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool horse.
Just goes forever. That horse, I mean, I can't remember how many 5-stars he's
A lot.
An enormous amount, which is such a credit to Lillian and her horsemanship.
Yep. To all those that have the older horses, there's just so much we can do to keep them in shape and keep them in good physical health. So that's great. That's the class list.
All right.
I'm sorry, we're going to go together on my bomb.
Boom. My bomb. Don't be sorry.
So
we'll both
We're
win.
going to go there. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's do this. Let's take a break.
And before we go,
yes,
please take the hurricane seriously. Do what you need to do. Batten down the hatches. If you're on the coast, get out. If you're just a wind event, batten down.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it seriously. You guys are watching this as it's been through Florida or just leaving.
Yep.
So
It's Thursday night, so maybe you're watching it.
Wednesday night.
No, this is going to be Thursday
this
night
is
when
Thursday
this shows.
night when the show comes out. So we should be just through it.
Yep.
So let's
go on, and we're going
hope everybody gets through it safe.
We got Dennis coming on, Dennis Mitchell. So let's see if we can get him in the doors and into the seat.
All right. Hopefully he hasn't gotten lost on the way, and we'll be right
back. EquiBrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
EquiBrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order EquiBrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Well, depends on who you ask. Jen would be quite happy, I think, if I said I'm done. I'm going to hang up the boots and we'll just teach and train and look after the business side of things. But I'm not ready to do that. I still have something left to prove. Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance.
So
we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them.
Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. It would only take another person on the other side and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're here in the Jump for Joy studio with the legendary Dennis Mitchell. Thanks for coming in, Dennis.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a very impressive studio. I'm excited to be here.
We try to not build up expectations of any of the guests, so that way when you guys get here, you're super impressed.
So just to talk about that on the studio side, we used to have, where the old Horse Trailer Pros used to be on 27
and 75.
We were in a gas station that was right off front, so it had all black windows, and people always came in thinking it was like a porno studio. But when they got in and they saw the horses, it was like, no deal.
Yeah.
Here we are. John's done all this, but Jump for Joy is our sponsor for this, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Horse Trailer Pros has been with us for 5 years. They've been awesome.
Oh, wow.
So, and we are in the Equibrew segment.
We are.
So Equibrew is an awesome live probiotic. It helps your horses' gut health. Rick, you know all the details on it.
It's a microbe. It comes from New Zealand. It's behind Dennis right there is the bottle. A lot of people don't realize live probiotic is the only one in the world. Japanese race industry is all on it. It's come over in the U.S. in the last 3 years, and it's changing a lot of horses' lives. It just is incredible. And I know, John, all of your horses are on it.
Super timing on this. I am about out.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm glad that I told you down.
Well, for Dennis, it's for behavioral issues, even horses that you have some trouble with. I know you are good with dealing with troubled horses and make them do really well. So I'm going to give you some bottles in the next couple of weeks.
And it tests no problems.
No
with
It's
problem.
like horse kombucha.
Yeah, it's kombucha.
All
yeah,
natural, good stuff.
It's always a
I
good
hope they
question.
like it better than I like the kombucha. That stuff is nasty.
They love this.
They love
eat
this.
this stuff great.
Yeah.
You don't like kombucha? I love kombucha.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I can't. I tried it a couple of times, thinking I was.
Let's talk about you.
Oh,
So I know your father was a trainer.
yeah. My dad had. I started in upstate New York. I was born in Troy, New York.
Right?
My dad had a stable in Albany for a number of years, and was the huntsman at Old Chatham Hunt, which is up there. And then he took a private job in Michigan. So I went from the Northeast to the Midwest, went to college at Michigan State, and sort of, so by accident, I knew people on the East Coast, like, that are in my age bracket. And then
Right.
I showed in the juniors in Michigan, and through subsequent 3 divorces, I've moved all around the country.
It gets you moving.
Minnesota, California, Tennessee, and now here.
Ocala.
But here for about the last 25 years, I've been here in Ocala.
Sure, and I think we've known each other for a very long time. I think
Yeah.
when you were in Tennessee, when you and
Yeah,
Kim
at
were
least 20
together.
years ago.
Yeah,
anyway.
20.
Yeah.
So but you didn't you get really good at riding ponies?
I rode some. Well, my dad being a professional, he bought me some ponies. Teddy Gussenhoven was a professional in New Jersey, and my first good pony was one that Betsy Gerson had ridden.
Oh, wow.
And then I wound up riding for some local ladies that were breeders and whatnot, and got to ride for the Goffs when one of their sons broke his arm at a horse show, and I got to ride for the next 3 horse shows. And then I rode for a lady by the name of Mrs. McAllister, who I rode my own pony at New York in 1957, and then I rode again for her in 59 and 60. And David Hopper was the pony rider before me, so but that was a long time ago, obviously.
It's funny, and we see you at shows all the time, but I started reading some of your bio, and I knew basically your history, but I thought it was cool about the pony, that there was a lot of, you were pretty successful in the pony ring.
Yeah. Well, Mrs. McAllister's ponies, they were sort of on a par with the Wallers were big in the pony business, and they had an international pony division at one point in the 60s.
Wow.
Mrs. Waller invited a bunch of ponies from, unfortunately for the kids from England, they weren't accustomed to, they showed their ponies like dressage ponies, almost like, on the flat. They came to the garden, we had this international pony class, and I think it was the first time those kids ever jumped,
So you set them up, is what you
yeah,
did.
so it was.
Come over here. We're gonna have a fun little horse show.
Exactly.
At Madison Square Gardens.
And anyhow, it was interesting. They had some fancy ponies, but they never jumped, I think, till they got to New York. So it was, needless to say,
That's kind of what they do to us when we show up to an event over there, so it's fine.
Yeah, so you get even.
Well, really, so where did it transpire? You went into the juniors, and then you did that.
Yeah, I had a pretty good junior career. My dad supplied me with some jumpers, and then I rode for a number of people. Diana Dodge, who's later became a big breeder in Virginia. And she was in Schenectady, New York at the time. She was right after she got out of Smith. She worked for GE, so she had her horses with my dad, and I rode her junior horses. And because I was riding the junior horses, I got to ride with Dave Kelly because he rode her confirmation horses, and then Bobby Burke in St. Louis. It's been by accident, I wound up being in the right place at the right time a few times, so it worked out pretty well. But I actually, after I got out of school, I didn't think I'd ride. I never thought about showing as a profession.
So when you went to what did you go to college for?
I thought I'd be a lawyer, to be quite honest. Yeah, I did poli-sci pre-law.
Yeah.
Got married while I was in school, and we subsequently had a son, and now I had to make a living. So I went back to doing the horses full time, and that's,
That's where you stayed.
Yeah. No law school for me.
Good for you. I mean,
Which I think is cool to hear, because so many times you hear people say, I'm not going to do horses because I need to make a living.
but you almost have to
Well,
be.
it was the only thing I knew. Yeah,
Right.
I was, 1969. I'd been to England for a year in London School of Political Science and economics, and I thought I was one of the Beatles. I mean, I never, it was a drug-induced stay that whole year. I don't remember anything about college other than being. But it was a living experience as opposed to a learning experience.
Right. Well, you gotta have those.
So I got home, and my wife was not a horse person, so we immediately immersed ourselves in the horse business. I took a job right out of school with a steeplechase outfit in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Right around where all you eventers, like it was right in that country. Right,
Elkton area.
yeah, Westchester.
Maryland,
It was actually in Malvern, not too far from the
Yeah.
Hunt.
Yep.
And that lasted. Well, we went to Southern Pines for the winter, and then I got involved with a lot of my hunter and jumper friends, and drank myself right out of that job. And
All right.
but that was the end of my steeplechase career. But it was short lived.
Might have been a good thing.
But it was pretty much the end of my marriage too, because my wife, being surrounded in the bubble that we all live in,
Right.
socially, she the only person she really liked was Joey Darby, because
Everybody loved Joey
because he
Darby.
loved my son, and he would take care of the baby when we went to to a concert or something like that up in.
Do you know
Detroit.
Joey Darby was on the Mickey Mouse Club?
Really?
He was little Joey.
Yeah. He was. Did you know him at all?
No.
Oh my God, I
Great
love
guy.
Joey Darby.
Great
Southern
guy.
Pines.
No, never
Too bad
met
you didn't know him because he was great.
Great guy, great rider, and
He helped me in the show jump.
good judge. He was a cool guy,
Yep.
and he loved little kids.
Yeah,
so
he was
he
super.
took care of the baby when we were down there.
That's a
Good
friend to
segue.
have.
Yeah.
So you got to Southern Pines, then evidently you got a divorce. And then,
Yeah, and moved to St. Louis with Bobby Burke because he was married to Elizabeth Burke at the time. And then when he got divorced, that job ended, and I was like, man, I've been running around here, Pennsylvania, It was only a 3-year period, but I thought I need to settle down. So I went in business for myself in St. Louis, rented some stalls and started trading horses.
started to do it.
I had a girlfriend who had a friend that wanted a horse, and I had a horse that Gene Mish had sent me that was terrible, and I sold it, and with that money went to the Cahokia Downs and bought 3 more, and by the end of the year I had 60 head of thoroughbreds off the racetrack that we
Wow.
were redoing, and the scenario was, I had enough mileage, but when you don't know what you don't know, you just jump right in with both feet.
Sure. That's the best
So,
way.
and I learned a lot about unsoundness because I just bought price.
Sure.
And so they were cheap, and we did X to the Oxer, and then we'd load them on the truck, and I'd go to Chicago with them, and we flip them about every 60 days.
Right.
So a $500 horse would turn into $3,500,
Right.
and then you went and bought some more. Eventually, I had lots of horses and no money, like everybody in
way that
horse
goes.
business. So I'm used to living like that my whole life, and it's
Right.
kind of like a glorified bank robber.
But it feels
you
good
get cash,
at the time.
and the horses have been great to me. I've been out all over the world, and the horses are great. The business has changed drastically. Obviously, the cost to carry, you couldn't do that now if if that
wanted
was your
to.
business plan.
Right.
Just because it cost too much to feed them and
So when did
ship
you,
them and everything
real
else.
quick question, when did you flip from thoroughbreds, which is easy to get them off the track, rehome them and do them, and you start getting into
Well, to be
a
quite
different
honest, most of the horses that I rode in the Grand Prix were thoroughbreds, with the exception of 2, and that was late in my career.
Right.
I got lucky enough to have a couple of horses that jumped well in spite of me. I had a horse called Hometown Hero that went on to win with everybody that rode him. Won a Grand Prix on him. I happened to win a few on him, and then I had a horse that was a recycled junior hunter that was stopping, and for whatever reason he liked me, and we won some Grand Prix with him. But it's I had a horse actually, and then as things go on, all of a sudden you can't sell a thoroughbred horse.
It's
I don't know why, but it's happened.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
Weird.
So you eventually, you make some contacts. I knew a lot of people in Europe, so I started bringing horses in.
Right.
And first group sold well, and so you get,
And when did you start that?
Probably, I'd say 80, 81,
Okay.
maybe 82, my early 80s.
Right.
And at that time, Barney Ward was importing a lot of horses. David Hopper was importing a lot of horses. And that was about it. There wasn't a lot of competition. So you could go over there, and if you beat the bushes, you could find them pretty much worth the money. The shipping was more than the horse cost.
Right.
And at the time, I once again, I should have went to business school instead of poli-sci. I had a place in Dallas, a place in Chicago, and a place in California. The place in California paid for itself because I had a sponsor there.
Right.
The other 2, and what happened, we'd have horses at all 3. I was going to franchise.
Right. Okay.
That didn't
You're
work.
gonna be like the McDonald's of horse dealers.
Well, I hoped I would. Yeah, that was the hopes.
Right. Okay. It's good.
And Dallas was good when I was there. When I was in town, we sold horses. When I'd leave, nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yep.
Chicago, my brother was running the operation in California for a lady by the name of Mrs. Hoffman, and she was great to me. And I was still buying horses at the racetrack, because I should have given that up sooner. But I kept thinking,
This is what you knew.
yeah, and it was still a market for them to probably until about 86, 87, when they act like they had cancer when you tried to sell them.
At least in the hunter jumpers,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
They went to the event.
Well, to be honest, the way they judge hunters, the thoroughbred horse doesn't fit anymore.
Right.
They have to be almost dead. You know, and I see, and that's
not for all judges. Yeah, well, that's true.
The hunter, I think the hunter business has gone the way of the Western pleasure horse. You know, it's almost like an end in itself, and it's not even. You know, there's guys like Hunt Tosh. There's some great riders that do it, but it's almost like a trick. It's not really horse. You know,
right. I get it. I get the comparison to the Western pleasure. It's like, what's happening?
I mean,
It's gone so far, it's unnatural.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, horses don't go that quiet.
Right.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you guys know what the
Well, that's why we still we've got a lot of warm bloods in the event horses as well, but they still need to have a lot of thoroughbred in them.
Yep.
Good. So they
And
have
what
enough
you
blood.
want is a thoroughbred that just
They want
goes
no
like a
blood
warm
in the hunter division. I mean, or if you have
No,
any,
they just want them to go steady and nothing.
They lunge them to death. I think it's it's just changed. You know, and I don't know. I guess there's pluses and minuses. You know,
I think it's too bad.
I have some for my girlfriend that we do in the 3-foot hunters, and they're very successful. But the preparation is time consuming,
right?
Even for those, and
they're quiet.
They're quiet horses, but by nature. But they have to be. If they flick an ear or hop through a lead change, they put a line through it, and that's just kind of the way it works now.
It's true.
And in the jumper division, in I mean, we've had thoroughbred horses that have jumped great, right? But now, with the time allows the way they are, and as careful as the jumps are, I think they have to be European horses too.
That jump over the jump a little bit more.
They're and most of the horses are bred for. We're taking horses off the racetrack that were bred to run,
right?
Not necessarily bred to jump.
And they're a little bit flatter.
And a lot of the jumping blood that we've developed over the years, by trial and error. Nobody is replicating that in a racehorse business.
I have found a couple breeds. I know Kitten Joy is one that jumps really well. Friendly Lovers, another one that jumps. There's some lines. Holy Bull.
I think that's the point, right?
I know.
These warm blood horses.
They're bred for the job.
They're bred for
jump.
Right.
Thoroughbreds
are bred to run.
So you have. I mean, you wouldn't take.
And we're not getting the Kentucky Derby favorites that start over jumps.
Right.
We're getting ones that weren't any good at their job.
Right.
Or
it's a shame because I love thoroughbreds.
Or they had a pre-existing condition. They got a name. I have a beautiful horse they sent me from Delaware Park. A friend of mine, old friend. It won $400,000. Bowed. So he turned it out for a year. The bow's set, and he's 90 years old. He called me and said, "I'm not happy with the way the horse looks where it is. So I'm going to send it to you." So how do you tell a guy 90 years old, no, I don't want it?
Right.
I've got a thoroughbred in the barn. I had two this last month. I took to an auction up in Minnesota and sold them for nothing. You know, and they were gimmies. A friend of mine at the racetrack gave me the two, and they were nice fillies, but you can't sell them down here.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's. But that's I think in a lot of ways. The way we take care of horses is improved. The way we train horses is improved. All of that is a plus. Do I reminisce about the old days with the thoroughbred horses and the great ones, Idle Dice, and just like the eventing, there was thoroughbred horses that were terrific.
Yeah, we just had Dorothy Crowell on with. She had
Malachi. Yep.
That was an incredible thoroughbred.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
I think we still get
the Godfather
in eventing.
I had a lot of them.
We still get them in eventing, but
like Kelly Prager
had
had the one she sold to Boyd.
Yep.
That never materialized for Boyd.
That one's the one that went to the Olympics, actually. The 2016 Blackfoot Mystery. Right. That was sold to a lady in Texas. Yeah, that's a nice horse.
Yeah, but those are, Kelly. I helped Kelly with her show jumping, and she's got all Irish horses now. Except for the couple that I brought in there that were Dutch, but she's almost,
Which Kelly's a great producer of horses. I mean, typically, I always look at her and said, "Are you going to keep that one?" She goes, "This one's got to be sold." I'm like, "It's super nice horses." So
I think she's at a point in her life now where I think she aspired to do the big stuff again, but now she's kind of she likes producing them.
Yeah. She does a good job.
It's nice to make money.
And you got to survive, right? Yeah. And this town is wonderful for that because there are enough real professionals, and there's all the trust fund surfers that own a place, and there's a market right here for both event horses, show horses,
Yep.
Well, and one more thing about Kelly, since we're talking about her, she actually brought a client over from California that bought one of our thoroughbred mares that was a really good jumper, and just because she loves thoroughbreds, so she was able to help me with that one. But why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break, and then we can come back, Jon, and get all the way full up to speed to what you're doing right now.
All right, sound
good?
Awesome. So thank you again to Equibrew for sponsoring this segment. We appreciate it. Again, you guys, if you have any horses that are struggling with their health, their gut health, they aren't eating.
There you
Dennis
go.
Has shown
That's
it off
it,
for
Dennis.
us. It is a great product, so give it a try. You go to brickfieldnutrition.com and you can get it ordered, and Rick and Briggs will get it sent out to you. So
Yep.
we'll be right back with Dennis Mitchell. Okay, cool.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Hey, it's Jon here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Reset, reboot, rebuild, restore. Experience the transformative power of our formulas you can trust. Elevate your horse's well-being from the inside out with Parkmore supplements. European designed, American manufactured, and Kentucky Proud certified. Parkmore's Devil's Own Detox, Nature's Own Binding Agent, cleansing your horse's system. Now available for your canine kids too. Say goodbye to unwanted elements and hello to vitality. Parkmore Special Vitamin Mineral Supplement, a micronutrient powerhouse. No fillers, just 4 ounces a day for a 5-star eventer that thrive. Because excellence deserves exceptional nutrition. Parkmore GLF Immunobooster. Unleash the magic gold, the #1 building block for cell replication. Elevate wellness and recovery for your horses and dogs, whether after training, travel, competition, or during periods of injury, illness, or surgery. Parkmore HI Oil Infusion. Customize your blends of herbs and spices to naturally combat inflammation, bacteria, and restore gut flora. Elevate your horses and dogs' appetite naturally. Expert guidance awaits. For more information, schedule an online, telephone, or on-site consultation with Fleur or one of our dedicated team members. Visit parkmoresupplements.com or call, text at 502-265-8345 to elevate your companion's well-being today. Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're in the Jump for Joy studio, and we're still here with Dennis Mitchell. Dennis, it's been a great learning and hearing about your life, and now you're coming up, and can you fill us in about what's been happening lately and how things are going here in Ocala?
Well, it's Ocala, kind of the world has come to Ocala because of the World Equestrian Center. And I've been all over the world, and no one has spent $1 billion on a horse facility anywhere. So it goes without saying, it's everybody's business is doing better. I find that all I do is buy and sell now. I have no clients, and I don't know if that's such a smart business move as well, but I'm surviving at this point, and less aggravation.
Right.
I used to take 35, 40 head to the horse show.
I remember.
Have 2 tractor trailers and, go to indoors and all that stuff, and fairly successful at it, but that doesn't make money.
Yeah, it just spends money.
There's 1 or 2 guys that make money, and everybody takes their business model and starves.
Right.
Right.
I think Andre Dignali does well. Don Stewart does well. End of the story.
Right.
Everybody else is caught up in the lifestyle. They have the tractor trailers and they have the attack rooms at the horse show.
Yeah.
And lots of flowers and.
Yeah, I did it with the Atlanta Hunt Club and Brad. Brad
Oh, yeah,
Sprague
yeah.
and I.
And Brad had an outside pump. I mean, he had money before he went there.
Yep.
And,
So,
We did it a little bit, like my wife and I, when we started down here, tried that for a bit, and I had the most beautiful big semi.
You did.
Oh,
It was
just
huge.
gorgeous. And then I think I had it about 2-3 years, and then I got audited for my miles on it, and then I did the math again and realized I'm really bad at math, and I owed a lot of money on the fuel tax that I didn't, and I was like, right, that's sold. We're done.
Right.
We're just gonna go back to like downsize the whole operation a little bit to make this work.
I think you're smart.
Yeah, for sure.
You've been through
now,
it.
I don't have that, you're driving a truck and it breaks down and all that stuff that
Oh,
goes
you don't have
along with
that.
having your own stuff.
Yeah.
But as a kid, that was what you emulated.
Absolutely.
And most of the time, I think I bought into, Diane Grott is here in the studio, but Benny O'Mara was my idol as a boy. And Benny appeared to be doing everything at the highest level. I think if he did Benny's books, it would have been just like all the rest of us,
Right.
But he did things that, we all aspired to do. So that was our business model.
Right.
And the majority of people back when I was a kid, they always had these, like my dad took one, what they called a good private job. So they were on somebody else's ticket, whether it was Dave Kelly moved from one sponsor to another. And it was a different time.
Yep.
There's I think the business now, the problem is the cost to carry it's difficult to produce horses. And that's what I enjoy doing. I bought 4 horses 2 years ago in Holland, shipped them over. Of course, now you got the expenses of the shipping and the
Which
quarantine.
is not cheap.
No, it winds up being about, people kid you, but it's about, for a gelding it's 15,000,
Right.
for a mare it's 20.
Yeah.
And see, that somehow you have to recoup.
Right, somewhere.
Yeah, and then you're feeding them and you're riding them, and provided they don't colic or they don't have a bad X-ray or whatever after you've got them over here. The one that I made the most money on in these 4 was one I sold to Tammy Smith because I didn't think it was a good enough
Which one was
jumper.
that?
It's out in California. It was a young horse that Kelly introduced me to Tammy.
Right.
She came. So I've really been that one sold right away. So he was, he trotted good. I didn't think he jumped with his front end good enough for us.
Right.
He may wind up being a great horse, but
Now, how long ago was that?
it's been 2 years ago that we sold that one.
So it's a 6-year-old?
Yeah.
No?
No, he'd be a 6-year-old now. He was a
We'll
4-year-old
check into
then.
that. We'll see Tammy
Yeah,
next
we'll
week.
look
I'm
into
going to ask
this.
her.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
You know,
Get you an update.
but she's doing
She's
the same
got good
thing.
eyes.
She's got a business. I'm sure it fit in for somewhere.
Definitely.
For a client or
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then I've got actually 2 event horses right now, and I'd never had an event horse in my life other than somebody had sent me one that was stopping or something. I
Right,
have to
right.
fix it. Actually, I had one that was in the World Championships in Kentucky when the year Bruce Davidson won it.
78.
8.
Yeah.
There was a horse that tipped over in a horse called Peerless Dawn, and he tipped over in the water, and they had to rehab him. They took him to California, and the people that owned him in Australia, because he was on the Australian team, wanted out, and I bought him cheap. And because he had a thing in the water, from then on, he was a good preliminary jumper. We moved him up to the Grand Prix. He would hang a leg so bad over Liverpool.
Well, I mean, fair enough. He's like, I'm just going to make sure I can land here.
Exactly. He was terrible.
What horse was that?
It was a horse called, we called him, I don't know, we changed his name, but it was Peerless Dawn. And the worst part about it is, every year during they had a horrendous picture of him falling in the water. That was
Great advertising.
It was an AP, Associated Press
Right.
deal, right? And every year during Florida, they would show that picture.
Oh,
the
gosh.
horses are coming to town, and
You're like, great.
But I sold him to people in Minnesota, and he had a career as a junior jumper after that. But
So what other event horse do you have in the barn now?
I have one with Randy Ward.
Okay.
That again
Yep.
was I sent him over to be sold, and Randy's all high on him. So I thought, well, have fun, you
Yeah.
know.
And that's a nice horse. What's his name again?
Thurgood Marshall.
That's it.
Yep, he is.
Beautiful
He's a nice horse.
A good jumper,
yeah.
you know. And
Good name.
Well, his real name was Black Friday, and I think Randy was offended at first, so he
fair
changed
enough.
his name. Yeah, you know, just so. But his
Thurgood Marshall. There you go.
yeah, so and it's
That's
fine.
good.
He had, and then Kelly has one, a Dutch horse that we did up to the 6 and 7 year olds. She just won the first event over at the horse park that he
Yep.
went in. He
Very cool.
That was his first deal.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. So you know, and
A little dip your toe in.
well, I like the event people are sort of a lot like we were in the '60s. They do a lot of them.
I'm going to take
know,
that as a compliment.
I mean it.
Okay,
No,
good.
I mean it, and they don't ride better now than they did, you know, previously. You
Right,
know,
yes.
Oh yeah, we ride much better.
But the thing is, they're close to their horses. Where unfortunately in our business, the professionals are, but the kids come in. I had a girl, she would remain nameless. That was came as going to be a rider, and this has been a while ago, about 5-6 years ago. So I come in the morning, and she's standing on the mounting block waiting for the groom to bring the horse out. I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What are you doing?
You work here, yeah." But that's the way she was brought up,
Right.
And
Yep.
that's the
Well, I think I've got a really good saying, so I won't even tell. It's a really established trainer that's here. She's really, really good. She's good with ponies. She came and look at one of our ponies. We had a medium pony that went to pony finals. She came in to look at it, and she goes, you know, my clients' kids are now too rich to kick and too rich to pull. I was like,
That's
okay.
I heard Don Stewart use that line. We're in the showgrounds there in Conyers.
Yeah.
And there's a lady at obviously the parent of the child in the ring, and the kid misses. And Don at the in gate, holding court, says, "That's all right, honey. You're too rich to kick." And that was I remember that for and the lady,
God.
she chuckled, and they bought a new horse. They bought one from Jack Towell right there at the horse
Right
show.
there. Good old Jack. But that is kind of the saying.
It is a thing, and it's tough, right? Because that's the business, but it also kind of gets at you because you're like, that's not
Because you're not the horseman.
horsemanship.
Yeah.
It would, that said, I think it's less in
Yes,
eventing.
for sure.
in your discipline than it is in ours.
definitely is less.
And not that, it's going to change because there's more and more money going into
Yep.
eventing, and people are buying, the made horse rather than bring one along,
Yep.
and, because it costs so much to bring one along. And if you really want to be competitive in the show jumping, you go to Europe and buy one. Aaron Vail, who's quite capable of making an Olympic horse, just bought one for a lot of money because he wants to, it's time's running out. He needs to get one right now to go
Was
and
this
compete.
Chestnut horse?
Yeah.
the one prior to this Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it to the Olympics,
Right,
but he's
then they
hoping for
sold
the
it.
next, But he put together a group and
it
bought
done.
it, so he's still riding it.
And you had a lot of influence in Aaron in his riding, yes?
Aaron rode with me from the time he was 12 till he was almost 17.
Right. So that's a pretty
That's a
influential
pro-
years.
yeah.
That's a big time.
And he won a ton. And to say that I taught him anything, I think would be he was a freak from the time he was a 12-year-old. And I just put him on horses and we went around the country with the rest of them. But he's always been just a great rider and a consummate horseman. I mean, even as a kid, he took care of his own and all that.
Right.
That's
hard
the name of his farm.
His thing was when he was I used to tell I put him in the truck to go to the next show, and I tell him, don't let him have a candy bar, because he'd get he'd get a sugar rush. He'd run around like a puppy. He was kind of a chubby kid when he was little. So first year we went to Detroit out of Texas. He'd already done well in Texas. We go to Detroit, and Roger Young had a bunch of junior horses there, and he had horses there, and he wanted a junior to ride
Roger
him.
Young. It's so long since I've heard his name.
And he said to me, "Who you got that could ride some junior horses?" I said, "I got the kid over there." He says, "He's he
Doesn't look like a rider.
no," and he got on and he won. He was like champion with all three of the horses that he rode for Roger. But he's always been like that. He's real. He's flexible. He suits a lot of horses. Hunt Tosh was another one that rode with me as a kid. And
Back when he rode the paint. Do you remember the
well,
paint?
yeah. Well, he was when he had
That's
the
when-
ready come off the white pony. That's when he came in.
Exactly. Elisa and him are the same age, so they were riding at the same time.
Right. We're doing Will's Park and all
Yep.
that. And he went to Texas with me on a trip and all that. But Hunt. Actually, he mentioned when they put him in the Show Hunter Hall of Fame. He mentioned me and Dennis Murphy as being influences, which I thought was kind of him. Yeah.
Well, that one he turned out to be a
Todd
really
Minikes is another one that worked
Yep.
for me. That's gone on to have a pretty good career. Went to the Olympics in Sydney as
he's been pretty good.
the ultimate. Yeah, he's been all right. But they all sort of. I enjoy teaching, but I don't want to make a living teaching people because of that's just what we're talking about. Because I think there's kids are different. Those guys wanted it badly enough, and they listened, and they would put in the work. Now the kids, even if they ride well, they realize the only way they're going to be competitive is if their parents buy them a top horse.
Sure. Right. But you do go. You go to the shows and you help people and warm up.
I see you helping. Event riders at the
Anne Hardaway. She loves getting help from you.
And the event riders, like Kyle Carter years ago, I helped him, and a few others, and Missy Ranhausen. I used to help her.
We needed help,
but I really, having going to the events now with the horse in the ring, it's kind of fun. It's like the old time. There's not a lot of pretense.
Right.
There's a lot of people there. There's all sorts of horses that are going. Totally. You got Olympians.
Sure.
Showing right with somebody with rubber boots. You know?
Well, we got to be smart. Like we finally figured out we got to get Diane Grodd, and started helping this guy here, and so it's helping. Show jumpers are great for us.
Well, at the Olympics, you could tell. It was nobody looked out of place. Right. This last Olympics, there was times before. Like I remember watching the class at one of the classes at Rolex, and it was a line to the combination. It was say 6 strides, a bending 6, and the first 4 horses had the in and out down. Nobody ever pulled on the reins and did 7. I was like, who the hell is coaching these people?
Right.
Do the 7.
That 6 isn't working.
Everybody's headed down with 6.
Even though it worked, they marched down there and they left from here to eternity in the 6, or I think now at least they all ride, with a plan.
Yeah.
Right.
And they can execute the plan.
Yep.
It's
tough though, because with the cross country you can get yourself in trouble being too much into the plan, and so obviously
you got to switch.
I'm
hats.
no show jumper, but when I teach my event riders, I say to them, this cross country is as different to show jumping as dressage is to cross country. You're jumping, but it is a totally different mindset.
Yeah. But the big thing is, like I call it the event move. You guys, because the fences are solid. Yeah. You grab that first one you see and make it happen. The fences, the material is so delicate now. You can't get away with that in WEC in front of the hotel. You've got to ride the numbers, and you got to do it with a little bit of precision.
Right.
And that's the only difference. I think you guys are brave enough. Your horses are conditioned. Most of them now jump in good form. Used to be they were the catch-22. The ones that didn't work as a hunter or jumper became an event horse.
Yeah. Well, I remember. So, quick story. My first year in Florida, I worked for Peter Gray and Paul Delbrook.
Okay.
And Peter said to me, I need you to drive the trailer over. I've got 2 horses. I need you to show to Don Stewart, and I want you to put your horse in as well. These were the best horses we had, but they weren't brave enough, the 3 of them, to be, mine, I don't know about Peter's. Mine was not brave enough to be an event horse. He didn't like jumping into the water. So, but beautiful horse. Thoroughbred, but looked like an Irish bred horse. So I take these 3 horses over there, and I'm showing him the best 3 horses we have in our barn. Possibly not event horses, but they were awesome horses. And he gets done, and Don says, that's great, thank you so much. I got one for you. It's in the back barn. I'm going to go get the guys to grab it. And he comes out with this little pot-bellied, ewe-necked, dished head mare. And it's like, I swear to God, it was blowing smoke out of its nostrils. And he's like, you're going to love this one. It just runs at the jumps. And I watched it go, and I was like, and I'm at that point 20, and I'm thinking, that's what's wrong with our sport. These guys all think that's what we want.
Well, and for a long time that did work.
Yes.
And because you sort of, I don't know,
I hear you. It did work at one point. It doesn't work anymore.
Those were the catch-22s. You got those, that was kind of those were event horses.
Right. were
if they
too
hung
hot.
their legs, you know, whatever.
Yeah, this one bolted at the jumps and hung its legs, and I'm like, I'm good. Thanks, Mr. Stewart.
But I think that just, Dennis, that tells us about our sport today is that we do have to be craftsmen in eventing. We have to designate dressage, and then we have to do the show jump, and then we have to do the cross country. And sometimes if we mix the show jump and the cross country together, we can get in a little bit of trouble. So we got to be able to outline it a little bit.
And you know, just even on the flat work has improved. You know, now you guys have to do flying changes and all of that. And for the longest time, it was dressage for dummies. You know, now
I agree.
You see them in the schooling area, and they're actually performing a real shoulder run, or they're, you know, horses. You know, it's a different. Everybody's improved, but I think eventing has improved. For me, anyhow.
Sure.
I've seen the biggest improvement in eventing.
Wow, we'll take that.
I see it being in our sport, being more a money-driven situation than an accurate situation. You know,
it's a business.
Yeah.
And I think that's the challenge for us as event people is we want to have a business so we can afford to do it, right? Because otherwise you do have to have a trust fund. But there are consequences to making it a business like you were talking about, where now you have clients that expect a little less responsibility because they're paying a lot more money. And so how do you balance that out and not
You
change
certainly
the
you
sport?
certainly have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because
trick.
I certainly know that we have to have different businesses outside my equestrian business to make it all work.
Like Equibrew.
Exactly, Equibrew.
Yeah. But it's you know, and that's it's too bad, but that is the nature of it.
Yeah,
you know, I just did a 3-day clinic up and had an auction and it was a real circus, but it worked up in Minnesota. And I enjoyed it because, you know, you can be a hero and those people, I won't see them again for another year.
Right.
You know?
So, clinics are great because you drop in, you fix some stuff, and you're like, before this goes wrong, I'll see you later.
So little Sally's not going to be here and saying, you know, like, I don't know, you know, he's still pulling.
Well, then pull back.
Right.
That's awesome. So so that's today. What is your big thing this coming season?
I still enjoy producing young horses, even though it's not a profitable situation.
Right.
And the other thing is, there's a lot of these folks that buy horses and because they gave X amount of dollars, they expect to have results immediately. So I wind up getting a lot of those, and I've got a couple of boys, I teasingly call them bruise boys, but I got 2 young guys that, you know, if they're a little tough, they'll ride them.
Right.
So the only thing we do different, there's more wet saddle pads at our house than there was where they came from. You know, we ride them until they're, you know, sometimes we improve them, sometimes we don't. But the majority of times, they're not, I find they're not bad horses. They just were in a bad situation. And not even necessarily with bad people, but because of the business plan.
They just
They're going to make a living giving riding lessons, not training horses. They can't spend the time to produce one if they're riding out when they miss, you know, 3 group lessons.
Right,
you know?
right.
So everybody
that makes sense. But it makes it come back around, and at least you can get some horses.
Yes, it's a place, you know, and I like to have skin in the game. So you know, a lot of times I'm like a vulture. I'll buy, and when I see one stop at the horse show, I'll walk up and try to buy it. I like owning them.
Right.
And which is a problem for me because it's an addiction, you know.
Yeah.
I built this 10-stall barn, and we were going to have
10 horses.
Well, no, it was going to have 3 for Louise and 7 for me, and you know, I'm carrying about 22 now, I think, or 24.
It's funny how that happens.
Where are they in that 10-stall barn still, Louise?
Well,
they're sort of scattered around.
around town, and then
around the city.
They're flittered.
Yeah.
And, you know, because everybody will try one for a week or 2, and you just keep rotating the inventory until they come on and get sold.
Right, perfect.
Yeah, it's sort of like a used car lot, you know. You know, where they put the Chevy Impala on and ship it to, you know, to St. Petersburg because they have a customer for it.
And Louise is out in the audience, and I see she's on the walking cane. She's getting better because she had a horse accident.
Really great. Yeah, she's got she's bionic now. She has a titanium rod in her left leg that runs from her hip to her knee.
Yeah, you'll be able to like lift things.
But and it was on her nicest horse that she fell off.
That's always the way.
It's one of those deals. He jumped. He did the right thing. she jumped a little loose, and we're all watching, and we kept saying, sit up, sit up. And with that, she kind of flopped off. It didn't look like it was that hard, right? But the doctor, I was talking to one of the doctors, I said, I don't get it. It looked like an easy fall. He said, well, think about, because the horse is 17 too.
It's a long way.
It's a long way to go.
And it would be like standing on the roof of your car and jumping off at 20 miles an hour, you know?
Right. When it's never the fall, it's the landing.
Yeah, exactly. It's the sudden stop.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see her up and mobile, so that's good.
Yeah, she's I don't know what her plans are for. She was just circuit champion with her one.
I remember she was doing really well.
Yeah, so and won the last classic at WEC and all that stuff. So
does 2025 look good for y'all for show season and stuff? Are you excited for it to happen?
yeah, I've got a couple of young horses. I'm more excited about the two event horses that I have.
Good, we like
They
that.
look like they're quality.
Yes,
both
I
of
think
them.
they are.
And you know, and
Good riders.
but I put plenty of time in both
Right,
of them. You know,
right.
we had them up to 1.20 meters before we decided to change disciplines.
Right.
And the one Dutch horse, actually, I leased him to for the summer. Neil Shapiro had a girl that was going off to school, and he wanted one to take to. So at the end of the circuit, I leased him to Neil for the summer, and Neil put great mileage on him up at Princeton and those horse shows. He came back, and I thought, you know, what am I going to do? And I sent him to Kelly, and then he went to his first event and
won it.
wire to wire. Yeah, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we want you to keep coming in.
Yeah, you'll be an eventer.
We got Diane coming in. We get you coming in.
You know, I did Pony Club, right? Because everybody did when we were kids. I went at Fox on it, and I was actually, and that's why I went to the steeplechase job, the first job I had.
Right.
I really enjoyed riding cross country, but there was no money in it.
Yeah. Well, that's,
You know,
there you
and,
go.
You know,
gotten
Bernie,
easier, but it is
Bernie
hard.
had the one spot on the team because he couldn't make the show jumping team. You know, and
Right.
the rest of them were all. It was Michael Plum and Lana, and
Bruce.
Michael Page, and that was even before Bruce when I
Okay.
would have been going to the team.
Right.
So there was no room, you know.
There was no room. Yeah.
And I didn't see a future in being a professional eventer.
You
at
were
that
probably
point,
smart.
Yeah,
I
There
don't
you
think
are.
there was sponsorship then, was there?
No.
No.
We're still working on that.
Now you see all the signage on the side of their trucks, and you think, but a lot of that is like that signage for the, when you get their first saddle sponsor.
Yeah.
Ronnie Riemann does a great bit about that, oh, does that mean I get a free saddle? No.
We'll give you $500 off.
Well, that's what I would say to our sponsors.
Of the $5,000 saddle. My horses didn't cost what saddles cost now.
Yeah.
Right.
The ones I rode in the Grand Prix were cheaper than most of the saddles that I'm sitting in now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's been I'm glad you came and did the show with us. I hope you're getting ready for the hurricane. We all are.
Well, we're sort of prepared. We took everything to WEC is what we're doing tomorrow.
Right, there you
That's
go.
what you do.
That's what you do. Wow.
And which is a great option,
It is amazing that they do that and they let everybody
And I'm sure that we're not going to have any power outages because I bought one of those Generac generators for
Yes.
22 Gs. And I haven't had a flicker of light since I put it in.
Right, you're going to test it out.
Everybody. Hopefully it'll kick in. But all around me, this last of the hurricane, people had outages. We didn't have any, nothing.
Right. Yeah. No, but I think it's going to
This is supposed to be a real one.
get tested.
Yeah.
So, thank you
You're
for
welcome. It was fun.
thank you for coming in.
Am
I
I
appreciate
hearing
it.
rats upstairs?
Yeah, you are. It's an issue. We have some issues with the studio. We have some unwanted tenants upstairs right now.
All right.
Let's pretend it's a cat.
Okay, it's a cat. Well,
Do you have cats?
No.
No. Because of the
Get some
dogs.
cats, because
I have dogs
so do we.
that will kill the cats.
No, we have the same thing, but the cats get it. Like I don't know where they go during the day. I put the dogs up at night. The cats come out and get fed.
Yeah, we had a couple feral ones. I might do that.
And I don't have any.
Yeah, they hide.
I don't have no rats, no mice, nothing.
We don't either.
All right, I'll work on it for next
and I
time.
only have 2, and I don't think they're hunters. I just think their presence
Right.
runs them off.
We got to do something. So,
No, I have 2 dogs that are cat killers,
Well, yeah.
and so I just
So do we.
separated.
what do we? Well,
We are going to thank you for being on the show, and this is going to air on Thursday, so we want you to watch it after the hurricane's over.
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. So, thank you everybody for watching. Good luck to everybody at Maryland in the 5-star. We
Yep.
are so excited. to be
And the
watching
3-star.
that. And of course, the 3-star. Good luck to Elisa. Go get them. But we won that 2 years ago, Elisa. It's time
She
to go
did.
back and
National
do it again.
championship. Yep.
So Thank you to Horse Trailer Pros. If you guys need any work done on your horse trailers, Horse Trailer Pros is the place to go. They are awesome. You want to go over to Matt and his team there, and they will take care of you. And we will be back in a couple weeks. We'll have a little Maryland 5 and 3 star.
And we'll be talking about Tammy Smith and My Bomb winning.
That's right.
There we go.
Boom.
Thanks.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.